Hola, amigos. Welcome back to another one of my Bring a Blanket live writing and productivity sprints. Let me know that you can see and hear me okay in the chat. That would be great. Let me know if you're here and what you're planning on working on today. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma Bennet. I write romantic fiction. And I typically do these sprint sessions twice a week on Thursdays and Fridays at 3 p.m. GMT. I've been doing a few extra, and I will be continuing that throughout March, just because I've got a lot of work on my plate at the moment, and this really helps me to get it all done. If you would like to do some sprint hopping, I believe that SD Houston has just started a sprint over on her channel as well. I'll get a link to that in a minute when we get started on the first sprint, so that you guys can go back and forth if you like. I can see that we've been joined by the lovely Katie Elizabeth, who has tonsillitis. How are you feeling, Katie? Are you feeling any better? We've also been joined by Julia Sutton. I know Julia because we were with the same publisher for a little while. Have a little chat with Julia later, I hope, about some of her books. Juanita is here as well. Hello, Juanita. How are you? We haven't seen you here for a while. It is lovely to have you back. And Julia says, I'm working on my Christmas rom-com. Awesome. I also have a Christmas book that I'm going to be working on, but not today, actually. Today, I'm working on my Twitter for Authors Challenge, which is what I'm doing this month. And I'm making the final video, and then I'm going to be producing a kind of little book, a little how-to for authors about how to make the most out of Twitter. So that's really cool. It should be. Katie says a lot better, but have a tickly cough now. Oh, as long as your throat's getting better. I saw on Instagram, Katie Elizabeth had put this picture of a lovely big bowl of jelly and ice cream for her throat, and I was very jealous. It looked really good. It reminded me of parties from when I was little. Okay, so the timer that I'm going to be using today for our 20-minute sprints is by HK Darkwood. She is a really, really fantastic YouTuber. She does loads of sprints and makes super cute timers, which I love. So yeah, we'll be using that, and I will link to her channel as well during the sprints for you guys. Let's just, do we want it that? Maybe we do want it that big. Maybe you'd like less of me during the sprints. I feel that that could be a good thing. Although I didn't actually mean to start the thing. Don't worry. Don't panic, everybody. We haven't started yet. I'm just messing up with the technology as per usual. Anybody who's been here for a while knows that that happens a lot. Okay, so yeah, what we do is roughly 3 hours of 20-minute sprints with a few minutes of chat in between. I will need to go and get my blanket actually in a minute because I haven't got it yet, and it is freezing, and I'll probably need to find a heater from somewhere at some point during the next 3 hours as well. I will start this timer, and I'm going to go and get my blanket, and then I will be back. So let's sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There we go, guys. That is the first sprint done. How did you do? I know it normally takes us like a couple of sprints to get into things, doesn't it? I was doing quite well there, I think. I popped over to Shannon's stream and said hello there. And then I was getting on with my Twitter stuff, which is really coming along well. So we were joined by some new people. Let's say hello. Oh, SD has joined. And the link to her stream is in the chat there if you want to do some stream hopping. She says, I went looking for your stream earlier, but couldn't find it on the first click, got distracted and continued to be distracted until you popped over to mine. Yeah, that's basically my life. Shadow's Lair is here saying good morning. Good morning. What are you up to today? Yeah, make sure that you let us know what you're working on, and if you want to share word counts or anything, we really like to support each other here. Juanita says, I got coffee and about 110 words. Nice, well done, that's brilliant. And Julia says, did 250 words. Nice. My characters are currently playing Twister. Oh, that sounds like that could be a very fun scene to write. I hope nobody sprains anything. And Katie Elizabeth says, haven't started writing yet. I'm doing all the little things I want to get done before the weekend. Hopefully I'll finish them in the next one and start writing in the third. Awesome. Have you got a busy weekend ahead? Well, probably not if you're still not feeling well. We've got tomorrow we are going to university for the day with our two eldest boys, and then on Sunday there will be some relaxing time, but we are going to my friend's house because she has got an outdoor climbing wall which they are selling us because her kids don't use it anymore. And so we're going to dismantle this awesome climbing wall, which even has like solar lighting so that you can climb at night. And solar sun, I know, but it like charges them, you know what I mean. Yeah, and it should be really, really cool. It's got loads of good climbing holds, and I'm guessing that we'll be able to change up the routes and things, so that should be really fun. Shadow's Lair says, starting lessons with the kids today is chemistry lessons. Oh, how's the Japanese going? And Julia Sutton is laughing, I think, about my comments to do with her Twister game. Yeah, it's going round in my mind like all the different scenarios you could have. I think that's a really, really clever, fun scene for you to think of. Juanita says, I'm in the process of switching my third-person story to a first-person story. Oh, my goodness. I mean, hopefully it will make it sound even better, but that sounds like a complete nightmare to me. I started out writing thrillers, but now I'm attempting a cozy mystery, and they are usually first person. Yes, I think they are. And often you can have lots of people's points of view, can't you, in different chapters, so that you really kind of get into the heads of the different people. Fun. I do like reading a mystery. Have you read, is it Nita Proust, something like that, The Maid? It's got like a green cover. That is really, really good. Kind of, yeah, like cozy, gentle mystery thing. I know everybody always says the Thursday Murder Club. I quite like that. I haven't read the second. Is there a third one now? I feel that there might be a third one of those, but I haven't read those yet. But yeah, The Maid, I really, really liked. I thought that was very clever. Brilliant. Okie dokes. Right, let's get into another sprint then, if everybody's good. I quite liked it with me kind of small for that one before. I thought that was quite good. So can I get that back in there? Am I going to mess this up? Oh, I don't want to be that small, do I? Maybe I do. Nah, we'll leave it like that. We'll have me like that. I'll be super tiny. Okie dokes. Right, let's get this timer back to where it should be. Awesome. And we will be sprinting in 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. Sorry about that. My microphone decided it didn't want to turn back on again. How did that go for you guys? I'm just kind of pootling away here. I'm quite happy, a bit cold on a Friday afternoon. Just kind of getting the stuff done. Let's have a look and see who's joined us. I think we've had quite a few more people joining. Katie Elizabeth was saying that, yes, there is a third Thursday Murder Club book, because I was wondering if there were just 2 or 3. Margaret Pinnard popped in to say hi. Says, hi, can't stay, but good morning and happy productivity. I'm not sure if she actually has some sprints going on at the moment as well. I might try to have a look if I have a chance. And Joanne is here, Joanne Lambo. Hi, Joanne. I'm guessing that she's going to be working on her romance project Sugar and Spice, which is about 2 rival bakers and sounds so much fun. She's saying hi to everybody and asking Juanita what she's working on. Museum Grack Reads is also here and says, more grant writing on a Friday morning, trying to knock things out so I can just go chill at the bookstore this afternoon and catch up on emails. Oh, that does sound nice. I hope it has a coffee shop at the bookstore as well. The wonderful Linny Sprinkles has joined us. Hi, Linny. How are you doing? What are you working on today? And lovely Inca is here as well. Hello, Inca. Says, hi, everyone. 348 words for my first sprint of the day. Well done. That's completely brilliant. And Julia says, really good, thanks. Wrote another 200 words. Things are getting steamy in my work in progress. Well, you know, it can get that way, can't it? You know, when you've got, you know, the old twister out. Honestly, that is just such a good idea for a scene. I love it. Julia writes all kinds of different things, from kind of self-help to different types of fiction as well. Awesome. Cool. And Julia's just laughing at what I said about the twister. Brilliant. Cool. Oh, if you guys didn't know as well, if you are looking for some sprints tomorrow, SD Houston is doing sprints from, I believe it's 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. Basically, she needs to get her manuscript ready to go to readers on Sunday. So she's going to be on for hours doing sprints, hoping to kind of possibly do like a 10K day, but basically get all of the revisions done for the final draft. So yeah, she will be on for absolutely hours. So go and catch her and like give her some support to see her through the day. I'm going to be out for most of the day tomorrow, but I am going to try to pop in for a little bit at the end if I can. Linny says, I'm going to be split between working on my story, some book reviews, and reading my first Haruki Murakami book. How are you? I'm pretty good. I've got a little bit of a sore throat. It feels like I've got allergies. It might be some flowers that I was very kindly bought yesterday, actually. I'm not sure. Or it might just be that I need to get some more sleep tonight. And Museum Grackreed says, anyone want to take over this grant for an inclusive public playground? Anyone? Oh, I would do it for you, but I'd probably do an absolutely terrible job, so it's probably not a good idea. It sounds like a job for Leslie. Nope. And Juanita says, going to grab breakfast during the next sprint. Good. I hope you have something really yummy. I think I need another cup of tea, perhaps to find a heater. I feel like I need a snack as well. Yeah. I try to do this thing where a few times a day, I kind of just stop and try to be mindful and work out. And I ask myself, do I need anything? So it's really good, because sometimes you kind of get so carried away with what you're doing, especially if you're working, that you don't really realize that you're not sitting comfortably, or that you're actually thirsty or hungry, or you need the loo, or that you're hot, that you're cold. I find that really, really helpful. So I'm now realizing I'm kind of thirsty, I'm pretty hungry, and I'm cold as well. So I think I need to deal with some of those things. as a matter of urgency. Oh, and I think I missed Manon's. Manon has joined us as well. Hello, says hello, trying to make up for the snow day the kids had yesterday. Oh, was it a proper snow day? Did you have like decent amount of snow that you could actually play with? Because here in the UK, sometimes they do a snow day for the kids. And like, I appreciate that. Well, where we live is quite a rural community. So the kids who are coming in from the farms, they'd probably be snowed in. But like in the towns, there's like the thinnest little smattering. It's like, you know, pathetic. And you can't even make a snowball with it, which seems very sad on a snow day. So I hope that you had some decent snow at least so that you could make the most of it. Build a snowman, do some sledging. Right, Museum Grack Reed says, Emma, I am Leslie Nope today. Yay! I didn't even realise it. I also have a site visit at another park today to prep for an Easter egg hunt for another client. Yeah, you're Leslie Nope. Excellent. In which case, you should love writing these grants and you should have no problem whatsoever. Okie dokes. Right, let's get into another 20 minutes. Oh, did I just miss something? Sorry. Manon says 5 inches in New Hampshire, but it was icy roads that called it. Yeah, fair enough. My friend Caroline lives in New Hampshire. And I have, oh, do you know what? I'm going to make my cup of tea in my New Hampshire mug in honor of you, Manon. Okie dokes. Right, we are going to go into another sprint now in 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. Hiya, hiya, hiya. How did that one go? I'm much happier now. I got my heater. I had a pee. I swapped some washing over. I got my tea in my New Hampshire mug. As promised, I also had a granola bar because I was hungry and I didn't fancy fruit. I fancied a granola bar. So yeah, there we go. Much happier now. And I got some work done. So that's really good. Let's see what you guys have been up to in the chat and how that went for you. So we have, Juanita says, I just started watching Parks and Recs on Peacock streaming network. Love it. Yes, we watched it recently on Freevee. I'd never seen it before. And we'd finished watching Friends and we decided to give Parks and Rec a go and ended up watching the whole thing and absolutely loving it. Ron Swanson, just absolutely hilarious. My favorite character. I love Leslie so much. Although my boys do not like Leslie. They found her a little much, I think. But I love her. I love Team Leslie Knope all the way. Manon is saying, thank you. I'm guessing that's because I offered to bring out my New Hampshire mug. Only the best from me. And Museum Grack Reed says, it's a solid show. Yeah, it is. It's good fun. I think the final season I felt was rubbish. I didn't like the final season at all. But until then, it was really, really good. Katie Elizabeth says, somehow completely missed the last break. Thought it was a super slow 20 minutes, although I did feel very productive. Oh dear, never mind. Maybe take a longer break next time. Linny says, only have 3 more book reviews to write for February, so I'm very pleased. I'm going to compile them all together later for an Instagram post. Oh, cool. I'll look forward to seeing what you've been reading. I'm going to be filming a video over the weekend probably about what I've been reading. I'm just looking around because I'm wondering if the book that I just finished was here, but I don't think it is. The books that I've been reading this month. I just finished one last night, which was really good. It was called The Leviathan. I cannot remember who the author was though, but it was very cool and kind of creepy and gothic and like witches. And although they weren't real witches, it wasn't like proper. Oh, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, it was pretty good. I'll be talking about it in my February reads video. Shadow's Lair says, realized the kids would do chemistry tests and told them to free work some work pages while I finished typing their tests up. Cool. I hope that they do well and that they enjoy it. That's the main thing, isn't it? I've got one of my sons is bizarrely good at chemistry. It's quite strange. And Inca says 448 words for me. You do really, really good word counts during these 20-minute sprints. I struggle. If I'm actually doing proper word counts, like during Nano, around 320 to 350 is about like the most that I can sensibly get. I just don't write that fast. Well done. Linny says, lots of romance since it's February, but then some literary reads to round out the unusual genre for me. Next month will be slower since I'm tackling some bigger books in my TBR. Yeah, I love big books, but I do tend to put them off as well because they just take so long to read. I reread, what is it? Thinking of kind of more literary thing. It's up there. The Remains of the Day. There we go. I reread The Remains of the Day this month and I just absolutely loved it. I flew through it. It was so beautiful and yeah, absolutely. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It is supposed to be kind of literary fiction, but it's not heavy going at all. It's just this really lovely story and it brings up some very interesting issues as well. So yeah. Julia says, I made a lovely cup of tea and had to play with dogs, so no words this time. Back at my desk now. Well, doggos need to be played with. I had a chat with my dogs and told them that they were beautiful and they were my princes and gave them boops on the snoot, things like that while I was going around. Oh, but then Paris drove me mad because he was just wanting to go in and out of the back door. So then he got told he was annoying, which is a regular occurrence. What else have we got? We've got Linny says the big books are from 700 to 1,000 pages long for me, so I've definitely been pushing them off. Yep, definitely. That's me. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell last year took me months, absolutely months. I really liked it, but I just got just so big. It was too heavy for me to read. It was pathetic. It really, really was. I'm reading a really big one at the moment, but I'm just doing a couple of pages every day. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's about the seven storylines, basically, that there are only actually like 7 original storylines and that all other stories are based around the 7 storylines. Like, for example, that the story of Beowulf is basically exactly the same as Jaws. It's just that the characters have been changed. And it's really, really fascinating. I was just reading a bit last night about how there are apparently over 1,000 different retellings of Cinderella from all around the world. And it's not that these retellings were just started somewhere and then they were passed around. It's they literally started in different places, but really similar stories, because our brains are like hardwired to have the same kind of storylines and to think in the same kind of way about stories. So interesting. Inca says, I usually do 20 or 25-minute sprints. Let's let it come up. Come on, restream. And get anywhere between 400 and 600, depending on how into the flow I can get. That's brilliant. Absolutely. I'm in awe. I wish I could write that quickly. It would make life a lot easier. Lenny says that's one of the books I plan to read on my Kindle. Which one? The one about the stories or thingy? I've forgotten the name again. I am tired today, guys. I have not been sleeping well for the last few nights, and I am so not with it. I just know I'm going to do something to mess up this stream. Remains of the Day. That was it. Yeah, Remains of the Day or the writing one. But as I can't remember the name of the writing one, it was probably Remains of the Day, wasn't it? Oy vey. Okay, so let's get into another lovely 20 minutes and see what we can get done. Let's just reset this. This is a very cute timer, but I think I don't love it as much as the one that I used in the last sprints. Okie doke. So we are going to be sprinting again in 3, 2, 1, and sprint. Okay, peeps, how did that one go for you? I'm glad I remembered to turn off my fan because it's so noisy. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that's way too much of me. Let's make that smaller. There we go. That's better. That's much more civilized, isn't it? There we go. Oh, yeah, please boop the like button if you haven't had a chance to already, as my banner doodad Ujima Flip It says. It really, really helps my channel, and I really appreciate it. Let's have a look and see what everybody is up to. On here, are we at Linny? Oh, right. So it was the Jonathan Strange book that Linny has got on his to be read pile on his Kindle. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really, really good. I also liked it. Susanna Clark, isn't it? I also really liked her one that she was it last year, Piranesi. That was really, really good as well. But Jonathan Strange, it's so clever. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it did take me a very long time to get through. That's Paris just talking there. He likes to have a talk every now and again. Shadow's Lair says, rest is okay to get sleep. I know, I just haven't been sleeping well. I'm in bed for long enough, I promise. Although we did have to get up quite early yesterday, and I don't do very well with that. We're up early tomorrow as well, actually. Hello, Paris. Julia says, managed 400 words, taking my work in progress word count to 82k. Nice. That's long for a rom-com. Well done. And Inca says 495 that time. Awesome. Well done. Shadow's Lair says, got my kids' chemistry test printed and they're taking it now. Now I can grade papers. Awesome. And Daisy by Design says, hello, I've just joined. Hi, Daisy. Have you been to these sprints before? I'm not sure that I recognize your name. And Shadow's Lair says, actually, wait, I need to do my own classes. Yeah, that's absolutely what it's like to be a parent, isn't it? Just being so busy doing stuff for everybody else that you actually just forget the thing that you needed to do for yourself. But at least you've remembered now. And Daisy by Design says, no, I am new. Well, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you are working on today. Some people write, some people teach their kids, some people cook, some people get organized, whatever. All are very welcome, and we are very, very supportive. We like to cheer people on here. Shadow's Lair says, I typed so fast. Oops. Okay, Julia says, I have to log off now as we are going to my son's for tea. Thank you so much for letting me participate. I've loved joining you. I'll be back next week. Have a fab weekend. Bye-bye, Julia. I need to check that I've got all of my sprints planned for next week. I'm doing an extra one, definitely. I feel it might be on Tuesday, but I'm not, or Monday. I'll have a look. Basically, it's up on my channel anyway, but they're different. The week after, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Margaret Pinnard. So I'm really looking forward to that. Daisy says, I'm working on a new novel. Awesome. What genre do you write in? I write contemporary romance, but I'm not actually working on that today. I've been doing a series of videos all about Twitter for authors and how authors make the most out of that platform. So I've got my final video to film this weekend, but I'm also going to be producing a little book that to go alongside the video. So I'm kind of just working on getting all of the information together about that. We generally have quite a lot of fantasy writers around in these streams, although we did have a lot of romance ones last week. Inka says, I need to get another 1K words today so I can hit 25K on this work in progress. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Super cool. I generally, if I'm actually writing, usually it's about 1K a day, but during Nano, I was doing about 2.5K. But that's definitely not sustainable for me long term. I have got a lot of writing to do next month, though, so I am going to get those proper word counts in. So, yeah. But I'll just get a few, and I want to get a few things sorted out and finished first before I kind of really get into that writing. Daisy says, I write both fantasy and romance. Oh, cool. Have you ever considered writing romantic fantasy? Or fantasy romance? Daisy saying, good luck to Inca. Shadows Lair says, I am a fantasy writer, but the more I write my current novel, the more I realize I am in denial about being a sort of romance writer. I don't know what OPE is. Yeah, let me know what OPE is. I don't know the young person's vernacular. Or just make sure if it's a romance, it has to have a happy ending for it to be officially a romance. There, that's it. Romantic fantasy. Well, yeah, you can romantic fantasy or fantasy romance. They're actually slightly different things. You're going to have to decide. You have to decide, but that's cool. I hope I get to read it one day. Okie dokes. Right, let's get into another lovely sprint with our cute little snail. Although I don't like snails. I don't know why I chose this one. I really don't like snails. They're all slimy and gross. This one's kind of cute. Whatever. It's fine. Okay, right. We are going to be starting to sprint again in 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, hello. How did that one go for you? I know Juanita's just had to leave us. I was saying goodbye to her. Oh, my dryer's quite noisy in the background, isn't it? I hope that's not too annoying. When we do the next sprint, I'll go and close the door. Somebody's left the door open to the kitchen, so you can hear the dryer, which bizarrely is in the middle of the kitchen instead of in the utility room because, short story long, we were trying to work out whether the washing machine or the dryer was leaking on the utility room floor. So we took the dryer out so that we could like separate them, and the dryer is stuck in the middle of the kitchen. It's kind of annoying. Okie dokes. Right. So we were talking about so Shadow's lair, or Shadow as I shall now call him, because that's what Daisy calls him, and it's very cool. So Shadow was saying that he thought that he was writing fantasy, but actually it's kind of more romance. So I was saying, oh, so it could be like a fantasy romance or a romantic fantasy. Daisy says that she feels his pain. And then she's asking, what is the difference between fantasy romance and romantic fantasy? Okay, so romantic fantasy is fantasy that has one or more plots that are romantic, but there's like a lot of other stuff and plot lines going on. A fantasy romance is where the plot of the fantasy is basically the romance. So that's the difference. Basically, a fantasy romance is a complete romance for the story, but it's set in some kind of fantasy world or has fantasy elements to it. There you go. Oh, Opie. Do you say Opie? Because I was wondering what that was. An alternative way to say oops. Oops. So I'm guessing it's Opie or Ope. I don't know. It's Midwestern. Opie is just a kind of weird sound made. Don't know if it has a definition. I'm not even Midwest. And I'm Southern. I started saying it because my friends did. Peer pressure, man. Peer pressure. And Shadow says, I see, that makes sense. Shadow says, technically, Emma is right that while I'm writing romance a lot in my story, mine wouldn't fit the full definition because my story is all tragic, and this novel definitely doesn't have a happy ending, in which case it would be like a romantic fantasy, because yeah, if it's a romance, it's like by definition it has to have a happy ending. Aramis is here. Hi, Aramis. Aramis says, hey, guess who needs to do some editing? This author. Oh, with you. And Aramis loves the snail. I'm not so keen. I do love though the I'm using timers from HK Darkwood's channel. I put the link right back up at the top of the chat. I really like her sprints, and they're just so aesthetically beautiful and lovely. And yeah, she's made some of her own timers and said that I can use them, so they're really cool. But I don't like snails in general, so I'm wondering what I'm doing with this snail here. It's kind of cute. Shadow says one of my class videos is almost over. Cool. Aramis says got 2 pages edited. Brilliant, well done. Especially as you weren't even here for the whole time. And Shadow Slayer says, and spouse is apparently home. You say apparently. And Inca did brilliantly again, 507 words, amazing. Fantasy romance author here. 100% agree with Emma, or at least someone does. Daisy says, thanks, I'm definitely more a fantasy romance writer then. Cool. They are doing really, really, really well. Fantasy romance is like growing like crazy. And Daisy says, I've written about 2 pages. That is awesome. Everybody is being so productive today for a Friday. Although I guess for most of you, it's a lot earlier than it is for me. It's just gone 5:15 here. So yeah, we should be able to fit in like a couple more sprints, and then I'm going to go and cook some delicious pizza, some homemade pizza for supper. I'm going to have a nice glass of wine. going to catch up on some YouTube videos while I'm cooking. And then I think we're going to watch a little bit more Firefly, which we've all been enjoying. And then I've got a new book to start tonight, which I'm really, well, technically I actually started it in the car yesterday because we were waiting to pick up my son and we had like a few minutes. I started it and I think it's called How to Kill Your Family. It's got like a pink cover. It is brilliant. I picked it up because I'd kind of seen the cover in places and I spotted it in the library, but I didn't really know what to expect. So I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Can't believe I managed to put it down so that I could finish the book that I was reading last night. But yeah, highly recommended so far anyway. Okie dokes. Let's get into another 20 minutes so that we have time to fit in a couple of these before I'm gonna go. Awesome. Okay, everybody, so we're going to be sprinting in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Hello, hello, everybody. How did that one go for you? Bye-bye to Kate Elizabeth, who says, got to pop off having a cheeky Domino's, and it's on its way. Thanks for the sprints, Emma. No problem at all. I hope you enjoy your pizza and that it's completely delicious. I'm really looking forward to my own pizza tonight. Yeah, how did that go for you guys? I'm pootling away. It's all good here. I found out some really, really good tips for Twitter. It's so great to actually be getting a little bit more out of that social media, because I don't like it, but at least now I kind of know how to do it a bit better. I know the little tricks that will get my things seen a bit more, and also so that I can see stuff from the people that I'm interested in as well. So Daisy says, whoa, Firefly. Yeah, I've never watched it before, but we are really enjoying it. I think we're on like episode 3 maybe at the moment. So yeah, that is good fun. I missed it the first time round, but my older kids are old enough now that they're kind of watching it, so they recommended it. Shadows Lair says was halfway through another video. Cool, well done. Am I right? Is it a science course that you're doing? Or am I completely crazy? Aramis says 3 pages edited. Brilliant. Well done. And Daisy says, I too am getting pizza tonight. Oh, this pizza talk is making me really, really hungry. Daisy says, Twitter terrifies me, to be honest. I'll definitely watch your videos later. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. It kind of terrifies me as well, because it can be really intense. I mean, I was just reading something that said that there are people who tweet up to 50 times a day, but 25 is not completely unusual. And that's even within the writing community. I'm like, who can do that? Even apparently recommended by most people is 3 to 5 tweets a day. I'm just not going to do that. You know, I just don't have the time or frankly the inclination to do that. So what I'm wanting to know is how you can become part of the community, how you can build your Twitter presence, and also point people towards what you want to point them towards without having to spend hours and hours every day on Twitter. You know, and also how you just don't get sucked into like the rubbish, how you can actually find the useful information, because there's a huge number of publishers and agents as well as writers there, and a lot of them are sharing really useful information. But how do you find it? Because I was never able to find it before. Like Shadows Lair says, writing in the sciences. I knew it was something sciencey. Cool. I hope you're enjoying it. Inca says, hit my 2.5k target. That took me just over 25k. That's awesome. So I'm taking a quick break. Then it's on to edits for a historical fantasy spin-off from my main series. That sounds so. What's your main series? Is that also historical fantasy, or is this like a spin-off from some other genre that is a historical fantasy, if that makes sense? Because either's cool. Either's very cool. Daisy says, wow, that's a lot, referring to the number of tweets, I'm guessing. Yeah, it really is a lot. That's like, yeah, it's completely insane. I don't know how people have time for the actual writing when they're doing that much tweeting. Maybe they can make a book of their tweets. I bet there are people who've done that. I bet there are people who've collected up their tweets for the year or something, who are already famous and like published them. It's not a bad idea, actually. Inca says, I think I tweeted about 6 times last year. I used to spend hours there doom scrolling, and while I like the writing community, there was so much drama. There does seem to be a lot of drama over there. There really, really does. Like that's got kind of the most writing community drama. I think Facebook has got the most local drama. Sometimes I just log into our local like Facebook groups just so that I can like see what everybody's getting all worked up about, like, you know, dog mess or the price of coffees or blah 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 in our local town. And I quite like Instagram because that's just pretty, and I feel that there's not all the drama that goes along with Instagram. Don't get me started on TikTok though. I cannot stand TikTok. I try. Okay, I try. I genuinely try, but no, too old. Inca says, main series is paranormal fantasy, but I write about immortals, so there's loads of scope for historical shenanigans. Indeed. That sounds completely awesome. Oh, Paige is here. Hello, Paige. Thank you so much. She says, can't hear the stream, but popping in to hug the like button, hand waving. Right. Well, what I would do is then I will reply to you on here so that you can see that I've seen you, because that's really kind. I was doing the same thing the other evening. I was like on a stream, but I couldn't, we were watching TV, so I couldn't have the sound up. So it's kind of frustrating because you can't hear when there's a break or anything, but it's nice to show the support, isn't it? Okie dokie, tickly pokey. Let's get into another lovely sprint. This will be our final sprint for the day, and then I can get wine and pizza, which sounds very good to me. I'm definitely ready for that today. I will pop off for the first couple of minutes to feed dogs. I have 2 chocolate Labradors who are normally fed at 5, and they are watching me intently. Okay, so we will be starting to sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hi, you guys. That was our final sprint for today and for the week in my case. I hope it went really well for you. I'm just turning me off here. I've got me on my phone because Restream went and deleted all the chat for me, so I can't see what was going on in the chat before, like a couple of minutes ago. I know that Daisy needed to go. So I thought if I get it up on my phone here, then I'll be able to reply to anything. But I forgot that the sound was turned on. So if you could hear me twice, that's what that was. Yeah, so let me know how that went for you. Don't forget that if you are looking for more writing sprints over the weekend, tomorrow Shannon SD Houston is going to be doing hours and hours and hours of sprints over on her channel. The link to it should be up at the top of the chat there. She's going to be finishing off her manuscript to send off to readers. So yeah, if you can pop in and kind of give her a cheer along, help her along, and also get some work done yourself if you can. Aramis says another 3 pages edited. That's awesome. Lovely. AB popped in saying happy Friday all. I'm sorry that you only caught the very end of it. And Shadows Lair says, got another video finished and spouse is officially home. Thanks for the sprints. No problem at all. Manon says, thank you. Got a little plotting done. Also, we had Tara Dion popped in. I saw saying hi. I'm hoping to join another stream soon enough when I don't have practice exams and a lot of other work. So that would be lovely to see him again. He was one of the original Nano crew. Inca says, had a lovely break reading over some beta feedback. Thanks for hosting, Emma. You're a delight. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, I've begun to get beta feedback now. So but I'm not going through that straight away. I'm going to leave it for a little while because I've got other stuff to do. SD had joined us again. Her stream had finished and she said she's got big decisions today with deciding on the AWC presentations. If you don't know about the AWC, it is the AuthorTubers Writing Conference, which is going on later this year. It should be absolutely brilliant. It takes place over a weekend. And last year I was away on that weekend at another conference, so I missed it. I did catch quite a lot of it on repeat, or replay rather. But I'm really looking forward to actually being able to be there for the conference this year and watch everybody's presentations. So yeah, she's got that. As I said, Daisy left. Yeah, and then I think we're all caught up. Yay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I will be back next week. If you hop over to my channel, you will see when my streams are going to be. They're definitely Thursday and Friday, but I feel that there's another one that I put in there as well. So go and check that out, and hopefully I will see you then again. Yeah, have an amazing weekend. I'm going to go and have a big glass of wine and cook some pizza now. Bye for now, and thank